So hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our episode number 2 of how to start a food truck. I know last time it was a little kind of scattered here and there about logistics and things of that nature. Just wanted to get stuff off my chest, and this series I'm going to go really into detail. I even made some notes for you excuse me, about what you're going to need in your food truck. So basically, so you're thinking about opening up a food truck or trailer. In our last episode, I encourage you to, do your due diligence on your city and the ordinances of the health department in your city of what they require. It all differs from state to state, city by city. So I encourage you, have a blueprint of where you want to go and where you're going to sell, and that's going to be also, I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that on our next episode. But for right now, I want to talk about equipment in your truck or trailer. I know for a fact, any health department, if you're going to do a mobile food truck or trailer and you're going to cook out of it, they're going to require certain things. For example, a 3-compartment sink. They're going to require a hand wash sink. They're going to require a wastewater tanks, and you got to have hot water, and so you need a hot water heater tied into all of that as well. Those are just a few main things that you need. Plus, if you're going to cook, you're going to need a Venta hood. You're going to need, excuse me, I'm going to just adjust this. You will need fire suppression in certain cities, most cities, because a lot of food trucks are being built in their backyards, are catching on fire. So the fire marshals are not having it, and so they're getting stricter and stricter because the food truck nation is growing, and it's growing rapidly. Just here in our city in Denton, we see a new food truck pop up once a month. So I can only imagine in other cities that are hubs for food trucks like LA or New York City. I mean, it's got to be crazy of how many pop up. But the reason behind all of this, and the reason from my heart of why I want to spread this word for free, is because I don't want you to fail. I hate seeing restaurants and food trucks pop up, and they're actually really good and decent cuisine. Some are not, but a lot of them are. But because they didn't do their due diligence and they're not managing their money, or they're not scaling in a sense that the company needs to scale in order to sustain. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a family of my wife and 4 children to support. So we have to scale pretty rapidly to sustain our family, plus our employees, plus our food costs, plus any other projects that we're working on. So I'm just going to go down the list here. Whether it's a food truck or a trailer, it should not matter. These are equipment that, depending on what genre you have and what you are going to cook, will obviously be different, right? So, I mean, the Venta hood, the size of the Venta hood, the suppression, how many nozzles you're going to use out of what suppression. I recommend Ansel system. Protex is secondary. And then after that, I've never used anything after those 2. So you're just going to have to do some research if you want to save the money. But I just want to encourage you. Sometimes you pinch pennies on the wrong things. And so I don't encourage you to pinch pennies when it comes to fire safety and it comes to health safety, because those are your 2 major things on your food truck that you're going to need in and day out, and they're going to get worn out. Your refrigerators, and your freezers are going to get worn out because you're mobile. You move from place to place to place, and every time you hit a bump, a pothole, or whatever, all the equipment inside your truck or trailer is going to move with that. So you're going to need to bracket everything down or bolt everything down. You're going to need locks for all your refrigerators and freezers. Don't forget that. I made my mistake the first time I went to go sell. Whoever thought of locks on refrigerators? So I get to my first destination, I'm all hyped up, and voila, I open the door and all my dumplings are on the ground. And so I had to cancel my first day of operation because of that. And so I don't want you to make the same mistakes. And again, I'm here for you. I'm all for you. I'm all for startups. I'm all for entrepreneurship. And go for it. Especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and you have some savings saved up, and this is what your passion is, and you have this killer recipes, go kill it. I want you to go out there and, you can reach out to us, email us for more information. I'm there for you. I'll never turn you down. You can leave your feedbacks and comments on this video, or you can reach out to us personally, and we're always there to help out a fellow colleague. So besides your refrigerations, your locks, your freezers, you're going to need to choose a POS system. I encourage you to start off with Square. Is going to be your easiest and most cost-efficient way at the beginning. There's no need to get ahead of yourself and go buy all these crazy Revels and Clover, and that's all good. Once you start scaling, you're going to need that kind of POS system to track your inventory and everything else. But for right now, you only need one truck, and you're using one truck, so you only need one POS system, and you're probably not going to have a lot of employees, so Square does the job for now. Wi-Fi. Are you going to offer Wi-Fi to your customers while they're around your truck? Are you going to have cameras in your truck like we do? We have Wi-Fi hotspots from AT&T. They cost $50 a month, and you can run your iPads on them. You can run your cameras on them 24 hours a day, as long as they have electricity plugged into them. Cooking, depending on what you're cooking, you might need a flat top. What size? It's up to you. How much you need, how much space you have inside your truck. You're might need burners, stovetop burners. And remember, wherever you buy this equipment, you have to get it converted to propane, because we don't use natural gas, we use propane. So most places that you buy your equipment from, I recommend used, but for your first time, because I did buy new, and there are some things that I do purchase new, such as refrigeration, because they come with warranty. But some manufacturers, if they find out that the refrigerator was in your food truck, it actually voids the warranty. So there's just a lot of loopholes, and restrictions that you have. So you just got to be educated on all your avenues before you spend a lot of money into it. There's absolutely no reason for you to spend $100,000 plus on your first food truck. You should be spending anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 max on your first food truck to prove your concept, if you do not have a brick and mortar already, and you need maybe, let's say, a year to build up your financials and see if your business even is a viable business, because banks will not loan you any money if you don't have a viable business. Even if you do have a viable business, they probably won't lend you money anyway, so you have to go a different route, such as venture capitalists, private investments, crowdfunding, like we did with Nextseed out of Houston, Texas. Big shout out to them. Thank you very much. Next would be your serving windows. Depending on your ordinance, believe it or not, City of Dallas, where we are, they require certain measurements for your serving windows for intake and outtake. So make sure that you read your city ordinance before you start building your food truck. You're going to need your clean water tank. You're going to need your wastewater tank. You're going to need to fill that up. I would get the biggest capacity that you can hold Again, in your city ordinance, it will tell you your minimal requirements. I would not just go with your minimal, because if you're doing high volume like we are, you're going to be washing dishes in between shifts, on shifts, during shifts, at night, in the morning, whatever. You're going to be doing dishes. And so health department is big on that. So you need your clean water and wastewater to be equivalent in size so that they can hold each other. Obviously, that's common sense. Your 3 compartment sinks. If you're going to be using hotel pans and big, supply items, dry items that you're going to wash, I would encourage you to get sizable 3 compartment sinks, because it is hell to do dishes in a very small sink, even though it passes your ordinance. So think really hard about what you're going to do on your food truck. Now, if you have a commissary and you're going to do all your dishes at your commissary like we do from time to time, then there's no problem. But again, not everyone has a commissary, and it's hard to do dishes after you've ran a 12-hour shift doing 3 different shifts per day. You want to just do it on the truck and get it done. Again, we went over fire suppression. We went over Vena hoods. You can make those custom, or you can get those prepaid already made through many vendors. I'm not going to say those names, but you can Google them. Remember, again, all of your equipment is propane based. So you're going to need a propane bottle. You're going to need a cage for your propane per fire marshal. You're going to need propane lines. You're going to need valves for them, special valving. You're going to need insulation for them as well. So get that ready. Electrical. This is a huge, big deal. I would recommend that if you're going to get a breaker and you're going to do all your electrical by yourself, or whoever does it, that it extends with at least a 30-foot line, 50 amp plug on the end, because they sell converters to go down from 50 amp. I encourage you to get the, once you do all the inside electrical and you do all the breakers, I would encourage you to get at least minimum of a 30-foot long line with a 50 amp plug at the end, because they sell converters to go down, but it's really hard to go up. So most RV posts and food parks and whatnot, even big generators will take 50 amp plugs. And a generator is a very, very important key in this, because you can go with an Onan, top of the line, Cummins, $10,000, and then plus installation, you're in there for like 15 grand. Or, if your electrician does everything right and puts breakers on individual switches, then you can go with a different, cheaper generator for, let's say, $3,000-4,000, if that, and you can turn on and off what you don't need. So it makes more sense. I've seen trucks that have like 3 breakers for everything, and so you have no choice but to turn on the Vena hood, lights, and everything else all at the same time, and your generator can't hold that power unless you have a huge generator, and huge generators are very, very expensive. So that's my feedback for today. If I missed anything, please leave us some feedback. Tell us what you think. Spread it, share it, message us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're always available. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this helped. Good luck. Man, go after it, crush it, and tag us in it, because we'd love to be a part of your journey. Thank you so much.